You have a better shot of predicting the weather a year from now than Rockstar Games' next move. Rockstar Games have just added brand new images of animals to their Red Dead Redemption 2 features tab. At the moment, there's 6 screenshots of various animals and habitats newly released about an hour ago by Rockstar Games. However, I feel like this might be another artwork drop scenario where maybe more animals in the next few hours get announced or shown off. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but a Tuesday for Red Dead Redemption 2 news is unheard of, and it's like the first time we've had Red Dead Redemption 2 news on a Tuesday as well as GTA Online news in like over a year, so this is very significant, and it could definitely be another pointer that something is coming tomorrow and maybe a gameplay trailer will be announced tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So the first screenshot we got here is the American bison in what I would say, with my educated guess and knowledge of the game, somewhere within the Great Plains. A hot spot for these animals in Red Dead Redemption 1 where they finally went extinct if you managed to shoot them all within the game. And a very beautiful shot here. We can see the detail on the hair, the skin, and maybe some other areas. That's definitely the best I've ever seen in any video game by far. When we talk about the detail on animals, this is the kind of detail not even a hunting game or an animal simulator would be able to nail. So great job there from Rockstar Games. Next up we have what I would say is vultures in the sunset devouring what I would believe, again only predicting, a pig. I would say that's some sort of boar or animal that's died from not quite topping the food chain in whatever scenario. As Rockstar Games said, animals will fight and die and behave the way animals do in real life, so it wouldn't surprise me if this boar got injured, survived for a few days out in the wilderness, and now these vultures are getting the last few scraps. Such is the cycle of life, you know, there's so many different variants and factors that go into these things in the real world, and I love this. The scene here is beautiful. Next is my favourite of all time, and I say this about a lot, a fox in the snow, probably near its habitat somewhere high on the mountains. You can see the colour in the fur is like no other game I've ever seen myself anyway, personally. And I really love this screenshot, and I'll most likely be using it as the thumbnail. You may have seen the thumbnail and been like, nah, that's just a picture of a fox. Nope. This is genuinely how good Rockstar Games are making this game look, guys. Believe it or not, this is a in-game screenshot from a game that's probably gone gold by now. It's probably being printed somewhere in the world right now and ready to get shipped off to game like companies and stuff. It's crazy. You can see every piece of fur, you can make out every single piece of fur, and no doubt all these tiny little hairs will be blowing in the wind individually too. It's going to be amazing. Then we have a hunter here praying with his rifle on the poor innocent dinner for tonight. No doubt this will be a great night at the camp for this dinner. All these guys are going to be very happy that they got a nice meal out of this hunt right here. I can't tell you for sure if this is Arthur Morgan in this screenshot because he's got a hat and a different beard, but this is what I love. We're going to be able to customize our characters to such a degree that I don't even know if this is Arthur Morgan. I would say it is. It probably is Arthur, but I don't want to go ahead and say it and then turn out to look like an idiot. But definitely a brilliant screenshot here as well. So I'm going to move swiftly on to the next one that looks like it's been taken from a very similar environment. And this one, as you can see here, I would say this is a moose because you can see how wide and broad their flat horns are compared to like normal deer and elk. Of course, they don't have horns the size of this. I would definitely say this is a moose. We saw that in the gameplay trailer up on top of a rock, which is really cool. And in the background, we can see a deer or a doe by the river. And of course, this little red bird on the back of the moose just adds that tiny little bit of beauty into this screenshot. All the animals are working together in a nice little environment and in a food chain together. I think this is a beautiful screenshot. And lastly, a little black and white lizard perched on the rocks as we see here. Again, I'm no animal expert. I don't think this one is a Gila monster that we've seen in the official website drawings. I'm pretty sure the Gila monsters are bigger and have a different skull shape, but maybe I'm wrong. Nevertheless, this is just beautiful. The amount of sheer diversity in species and breeds really doesn't surprise me. 200 plus species coming to the game, and I just can't believe the factor of that diversity. You know, we might have 10 different snakes, 10 lizards, 20 fish, 10 or 20 different dogs, 19 horses, and that's like what, 79 animals I've just mentioned there. Not even half of the amount that Rockstar Games have promised that will be in the game. The amount of detail and sheer diversity, like I've said, is crazy. And something really interesting that someone on the GTA forums pointed out is that this screenshot right here of the lizard may have been taken in Mexico. This may be our first tiny little glimpse at Mexico, because if you take a look at this screenshot here and look at the mountains in the background, or should we say the rock faces, they look very similar to what's behind that lizard. So take a little eye there. We may be looking at the lizard on a rock that's just before the river, and the cliffs we can see in the background are just after the river, as you can see onto John Marston's left here in this screenshot of in-game. If that's the case, I'm really excited because then that means we're getting the new area of the map, we're getting New Austin, places like Armadillo, Tumbleweed, and so on and so forth, but we're also getting Mexico, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Rockstar Games definitely have been quiet on the sheer size of the map, but that's obviously something that time will tell. So guys, let me know down below what's your favourite screenshot out of these ones so far, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Redemption 2 video, possibly later today, but most likely tomorrow. Stay cool, stay awesome, and adios.